All right, so there's probably several different people out there that were in the same situation I have been, and running iPerf on a Synology NAS in a Docker container. So I pretty much run a good amount of things within my network through different Docker containers, and I like just the ability to kind of spin them up and turn them down and keep them updated as much as possible. I have a couple little things I'm going to share here that I've found and how I have created a iPerf server on my Synology NAS. Basically, one of the issues I ran into, or there's a couple different videos explaining how to do this and doing it through a command where you putty into your device. But if you either turn off the container or restart your device, I was not able to actually find a way to make it auto restart or kind of stay, permanent like a lot of my other containers are. So what I ended up doing is I ended up finding out how to actually set this up and create it so no matter what I do, if I turn it off, restart my NAS, it's going to come back up. So I was able to actually do that directly in the GUI here. So I'll go ahead and show you that it works, and then I will show you basically how I got it set up. At the end of this, I'll also show you how I created a little bat file, because I hated actually going to where I store my iPerf on my desktop or on my computer to get to it every single time. But running that, so let me go ahead and just run a quick little iPerf test. And go ahead and see. Yep, it's connected. Getting some good throughput here. This is hardwired, so once that's done, and you can see, good to go. All right, so you can tell that it's definitely working. What I did to do this, I'm going to go ahead and turn off this container. You'll see that it actually stays permanent here, so it's here to be. It doesn't drop off. If I was to do it the different way, running the actual command, which I believe that one was, there's a couple different ones out there, but there's one specifically running this through the network static setup, or network static is the person who did this one. But yeah, running it through this command here, through the command line, and starting it up, it goes away every single time. And I was not able to find anything to make it stay permanent. So I didn't have to do this every single time I restarted the device. So what I ended up doing is I found that if I run this directly through the GUI of the DSM Docker application, you'll see just the basic settings that I have for it. So running it in here, one of the things I was going to just limit, I've kind of been playing around with the CPU priority as well as the memory, but this is the thing that is making it stay permanent, the enabled auto restart. So it's keeping it there, the instance is staying when I restart or start up or start the container. But the trick here was in the environment. Oh, actually, you can't see that here. I have to show you when I go in through the other way. But when you go into the environment, you'll get the command. So if I actually open this up, you'll see it in the variable, the execution command, putting this in when you're starting up that container. So I'll go ahead and make a new one, and I'll show you how I did that. So grab your image, go in, and we'll grab this iPerf image here. Go ahead and you can mess with the resource limitations if you want to, but I don't think that's actually needed. And then go ahead and check your enable auto restart. And then after you do that, go to your environment. And then in your environment, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and put in the network static iPerf3 -s, and what that's going to do is it's going to run that off of that container that you got from. So basically every single time it picks it up, it's going to pull it again, and it's going to run it with that command as the server. So that way you don't have to run it every single time. It's just going to grab this, it's going to spin it up, and it's going to get it going. So that's pretty much the gist of that. One of the other things I've kind of been messing around with is, I'll go ahead and see. I wanted to try to keep some logs going, so I'm trying to see if I can mount a volume to get that in there. Currently I was not able to actually get that logged in there. I know there's a couple different variations of the iPerf available for Docker, but I was trying to actually use a volume, and that's one of the other things I have not been able to actually figure out yet. But that way I can like log all my logs to that volume every time that iPerf is run if I wanted to go back and take a look at it later. So that's one of the next things I'm working on. But one of the other little tidbits that I did, so I don't have to actually go in and open up a command line every single time, navigate to the location of where my file's at. I actually have it in my portable apps folder here. So instead of having to like type this in every single time, one thing that I did was I created a little, simple batch file that basically what I do is every time I want to run that, I can just run the batch file and it pulls up my iPerf. So this is just the basic batch file. Run that command exe with your trigger of the K, so basically it's going to run that command after it. And then just the location of wherever you have your iPerf located, ampersand, and then the command that you want to run. So just that iPerf3.exe, and then that dash client, and then whatever client you're trying to ping. So this way it's automatically pinging to my server where I have everything at. So real simple. All I have to do for that is I have this little batch file on my desktop. I go ahead and just double click on it. It opens up, and then what it's going to do is it's going to run. Now you'll notice that the iPerf error, it's the connection refused because I did not restart that. So go ahead and go back to where my containers are. You'll notice that the container's still off. I actually did not recreate the one I was showing you, so this is the one that I had previous at the beginning of this video. So I'm just going to go ahead and kick that on. You notice how quick that is. I'm going to go ahead and run that iPerf from my desktop, and it is already up and going. No more typing, no more running it every single time, and it makes things so much quicker and easier. So I hope this helped someone. If it did, give me a little thumbs up. Hoping to create some more content for this kind of stuff. I've been running into a bunch of things. I run a whole bunch of stuff on my own home server. As you can see, I run a Plex media server and so forth. I have a whole bunch of other Docker containers that I'm running through here as well. I've been messing around with Pi-hole through Docker as well. So I might be bringing some more content, things that I've found, and I am just a DIYer, so I am no one special. Have a good day.